Hey YouTube, it's your girl Soul's Purpose, back again with another video. Okay, so I want to come on here because Spirit has been really pressing me about this energetically and stuff like that. So last night I was laying in the bed and I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, oh gosh, what is it? So I sat there and tried to zoom in, just sat there tossing and turning, looking up at the ceiling. I'm like listening to other things on my phone. And all I kept hearing was follow your heart. And I'm like, follow my heart, follow your heart. And when I closed my eyes and I was finna drift off to sleep, that's when I was hearing a conversation. I think sometimes, like, I can hear, I can hear in the spiritual world, not sometimes, but sometimes I tap into that spiritual world, especially when I'm drifting off of sleep. And when I talked about in my my other video on the twilight zone. So it's like when you drift off to sleep, it's like you're conscious. You can hear maybe the air conditioner cut on, maybe the fan going, maybe if somebody's watching TV in the living room, you can hear that. It's like you're asleep, but you're still conscious. So that's how when you're in that zone, you can tap into the spiritual realm. Your spirit is still active. And I was hearing a conversation. I don't know if I was having a conversation with the person or I was just hearing a conversation going on. And I kept hearing, follow your heart. And the person, not the person, but the spirit or whoever was explaining to me. And I was like, why follow my heart? Because we think that the heart is deceptive. The heart is, when we follow our heart, it gets us in trouble. It leads us down a path where we're where we shouldn't be, or we get into a relationship who we shouldn't have been with. And I'm gonna dive deep into that, okay? And they said, no, that is not what it is. The Bible or religion, the patriotic system, what they basically how they basically went on about following your about how following your heart can be deceptive, because what they think about following the heart, they think it in a way of, when you follow your heart, like I was just saying, because there's a scripture in the Bible, is like what comes out of the heart is it can come deception, envy, jealousy, and stuff like that. So think of it, patriarchal politics and all this stuff. They think with their mind. There's no emotion, no empathy, no compassion when it comes to patriarchal things. Like, that's why you don't really see a woman going into office. Okay, we know we got a woman vice president, but you will never really see a woman taking charge in those type of things, those type of hierarchies. Back in the ancient times, there was, because everybody has intuition. Men do too. We both have divine and feminine and masculine energy in us. Okay. But they worship women back then. Women were queens. Women had that, they had that authority. But now, since even the Bible talks about women needs to sit down and a man needs to speak, or a man should speak and the woman needs to sit down. But aren't we all spirit beings that receive the same information and insight? The Bible and the religion think of the woman as a helpmeet. But I'm going on a tangent now. Let's go back to the heart. Okay. So the heart, why we should follow the heart. Okay. Following the heart. How spirit was presented to me last night was the mind and the heart. They work together. The heart is in the center of the chest. So if you think about the lower chakras and then the higher chakras, they all play together and come into a middle. So the heart is the processor, processes the information, and which comes out of it as feelings. Okay. The mind, we receive downloads from the ethers, from our spirit family, from the higher beings, sometimes negative energy, sometimes whatever it is. Also, we receive things and depict and formulate this imagination based off past events. Okay. So the mind is the receiver of consciousness, receiver of things. And And I'm going to go give an example. Okay. Why soul's purpose? Why should I just follow my heart and not those both things, the brain and the heart work together. The mind receives the information, the heart processes, and then it plays a part in the feeling. The heart plays a part in intuition. Okay. It plays a part. It dissects things that come into the mind. The intuition stems from the solar plexus, sometimes from the sacral, and I believe sometimes I might be wrong, from the root, from the lower chakras. Because if you think about the root chakra is the security chakra, the feeling safe. People think it's just about money. It's not really all about money. It's feeling safe. Hint, my Reiki master has said that. She told me it's not all about money with the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, the root chakra wants us to feel safe, wants us to feel secure, stable. And if that's off balance, we feel scared, we feel unsafe. And it can congruent kind of tie into part of the sacral and the solar plexus. Solar plexus deals with our abundance. If we have lack of security in our root, it messes up that chakra of abundance, maybe the lack of maybe the lack of money or whatever like that. Okay. And then it messes with that confidence area. Then the sacral might not have confidence in our ability to perform sexually and non-sexually. But anyway, so like I said, the heart is in the midst of all this going on. So if the heart is basically is the depiction of our intuition and help us to process things. When we follow our mind, our logic mind, yes, the logic mind plays a part. We ask a question, why this, how this, where this, why this come about, this and that. Why am I thinking this? Okay. Why am I imagining these things? Or why is this coming into my existence? Why is this coming into my consciousness? So the heart what the heart will do is come together with the mind and act and reveal to you on why this thought has came into about. So it will create a feeling. Now, the people, I'm going to give you the example of relationships. I always go again into example of relationships. Okay. So if you think about relationships, people say, oh, I followed my heart and that ended me in a bad relationship. Okay. But your heart is in connection with your intuition. Did you really tap in when you have met this person? Because the eyes can deceive. The eyes is together with the crown and the third eye, the physical eye. Now, the third eye will help you gain wisdom and knowledge. Like I said, all the chakras tie in together. The crown will help. The crown will help you. It comes from spirit. So they're all working together, but from your ego and what you see with your physical human eye. Say if this woman or this man come about into your atmosphere, right? The eyes, your physical eyes, right? Everything's working together. Spirit, your physical eyes, your heart, your chakras, everything, your energy field, everything is working together. That's why it makes it so hard to really come together and and make the right decision, because you got your ego over here. You got the negative thoughts, the childhood problems, the chakras, the spirit. Everybody's talking. Okay. Everybody's like, I don't know what to do. But when you choose the wrong person, it's based off what you see. What I'm going to go back to the Bible. And I know some people, this is a channel of spirituality, but everything in the Bible, there's some truth and there's some lies. Okay. So I sometimes like to use the Bible for my own, because sometimes spirit brings me back to the scriptures. Okay. And there's a scripture that talks about men and women, us humans, we always judge on outwardly appearances. Okay, I'm pretty sure some of y'all know that verse. We judge on outwardly appearances, the physical eye. So when that man or that woman come, oh man, they sexy, oh, all that lust comes about because we see them on the outside. That's the judgment. We see them on the outside. Okay, let me talk to them. They look cool. Your eyes can trick you. Okay. There's another verse I'm going to get into in the Bible that talks about wine. Okay. So the eyes can see that, but you have your ego, you have the spirit, you have your feeling coming about. For my example, I knew I wasn't supposed to be with the man, the boy that I was supposed to be with in my past, the one, my ex, who I married to, in the past. Cause I felt this gut feeling. Something was off. I thought it was butterflies. I thought it was just, I was just nervous as I was walking on that altar to marry him. And I just kept feeling like, why do I feel nervous? Why do I feel this heavy burden? And I just thought it was butterflies. But I looked at him. I remember when I first saw him, it was like I was in a dream. And I kind of was, but my body reacted like, I don't want to talk to him. Whatever. But my eyes was like, ah, that feeling. And I mean, that seeing him. But when I married him, I felt, why do I feel awful? Why do I feel horrible? My heart was processing what was being received from the higher beings. No, this is not the person you should be with. This is not the person you should marry. You're making the wrong decision. And my heart was feeling that energy. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because this is the reason why we have to listen to our heart, because it's a depiction of our intuition. Now, I think I'm using the right word, but it's a voice of our intuition. It's the feeling of our intuition. So intuition can come through knowing, through different things. And the heart is all about feeling that and feeling these emotions, these feelings in this. So when you choose that person, like, oh, I followed my heart, but did you really listen? Did you really dissect it? Did you really feel what your heart was telling you? Your eyes can, whatever that person is doing for you, whatever that person is telling you, whatever that person is doing, like, just, they doing so many great things. On the outside, they look like a greater person, but what do you feel deep down inside of you? That is what's going to lead you to make the right decision. If it's a dream that you want to fulfill, but you have these people over here telling you this, and you have your ego over here saying that no, we're not going to do this because you're going to be made fun of. If you have those two people, ego in the past, telling you, coming together and telling you to stop, slow down. We're not going to do this because we don't want to be made fun of. Remember that time you stood on that stage and you got made fun of? You had your confidence, but now it lowers your confidence. We're not going to do that. But this is a dream. But your heart is telling you, your heart is processing this imagination of seeing yourself on the stage performing, and your heart is really feeling what you're seeing. Is it a bad feeling? Is it a good feeling? Only you know. You have to listen to your heart. Only you know. Nobody outside of you going to know. So your ego only is a replica of, it forms over time on what happened to you in the past. That's how the ego forms. And it protects you because it wants to be that protection of you. But sometimes the ego can stop you from fulfilling these dreams that you have. You know, these desires. You hear the desires of your heart. And I want to look up this verse. I'm going to have to, I might make let me go get my iPad real quick. 1 second. Okay, because I really, really, really want to look up this verse. I'm turning my iPad on real quick because I had to look up this verse. I took a screenshot of my phone, but I decided to make a video on my phone. So I'm gonna have to log into this is my last thing I have to say, but I hope you understand that the mind is the receiver. When we constantly listen to the mind, sometimes the mind can make up imaginations that are not even real, can make up things that's not real. And sometimes, because the mind is a computer, it stores information. Like I said, it's a receiver. It restores information from past things, and those past things can come about when something triggers you, and the computer brings up that file. And I see 10:44 on the clock. It brings up that file. Okay, let me look through this file. Okay, she's feeling this way, or she's imagining this thing. She's feeling this way. Let me pull this file. Okay, childhood trauma. Let's press this button and bring it to the forefront. You hear what I'm saying? So sometimes the mind can sometimes be a trick. And I know some people, there's some terms and terminology that talks about the mind can be a deceiver and stuff like that. But please don't think that your heart is a deceiver, because it's not. the heart is tied along with the intuition. The heart comes, that love, that compassion, that all stems from God, that all stems from the higher realms. It's the heart. It's the heart energy. So let me look up this verse real quick. Let's see. Wine. But poison. 1 second. Inside. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It is Proverbs 23:31-33. So it says, do not look at the wine. Do not look at the wine when it's red, when it sparkles in the cup and goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes will see strange things and your heart utters perverse things. Okay, so another thing about the heart and what we see when we perceive things, right? It may look good. That man, that woman look good. Ooh, you lusting after that person. That person is attractive. Then you start talking to them. They sound good. They aroma, they smell, right? Then you lay down with them or whatever. Mostly times you probably may end up having intercourse, laying down with them. We grown here. And then you get up and you take on whatever they have within them. And now your heart, that's when you start to feel the pain, or they may treat you because your eyes deceived you. I hope that makes sense. But I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to let y'all process that. If you have anything that you want to comment below, just comment. If you want, we could talk about it and stuff. And yeah, like and share. All right. So this is